All right, let's be real. Most traders lose money, and the excuses, oh man, they're priceless. The market maker hates me. My cat walked across the keyboard and placed the trade. It's all because Mercury is in retrograde. Yeah, that's actually a thing, and I've pretty much heard it all. But spoiler alert, here's the reality. None of these are the real reason. The truth is, most people jump into their trades about like they jump into the pool at the 4th of July party. Hey folks, it's Jeremy Whaley, founder of Trade Maestro, and I want to talk to you today about why it is that traders seem to always lose money in the market. And you know, the truth is there's lots of things that can go wrong. There's a whole lot of moving parts in the market. It doesn't have to be complicated, but we do find ways to make it complicated and lose money. So let's talk about some of the big reasons that traders end up losing money. And first and foremost, I'm going to tell you, I think the number one reason that I see is this right here. It's they're following the quote unquote hot tips. Yeah, the hot tips. You know, maybe it was from the cab driver, their friend at the office, or you know, maybe it was the soccer mom at the ballpark. I mean, I don't know who they got the hot tip from, but they found out about this stock and maybe it was a cryptocurrency. They went and they bought into it. They put, you know, a few $1,000s into it and they hold on to it for a while and nothing ever happens. And they wonder, is this thing ever going to do anything? Or maybe they lose some money on it and they say, why? Well, there was no strategy. You were just following a hot tip. Here's another reason that people lose money. They don't have a good strategy. Kind of like the hot tip. Somebody told somebody one day, if you just buy and hold long enough, it will eventually make money. And what happens is people buy and they hold and they hold and they pray and they hold and they pray and they never make money. And they wonder why, because they didn't have a strategy. They never had a strategy to go with it. It's a terrible strategy. Buy, hold, and pray. Terrible strategy. But these top two things that I see among almost all the people that I work with. Another big reason that people lose money, they're just frankly too emotional. You know, they're worried about losing money, they're overly ambitious about making money, and they're just so emotional in their trades that it's really hard to make a good, focused trade when you're that emotional. And then that leads to poor discipline. Poor trade discipline is a huge reason that people lose money in their trades. And that's oftentimes just the result of a really poor trading plan. The reality is, all of these are big reasons that people lose money in their trades, but none of them are the actual reason. The number one reason, the primary reason that people lose money with their trades comes down to a variation of the same thing, and it is this. Either they are uneducated, meaning they don't really know what they're doing, and when you're uneducated, it leaves you vulnerable to hot tips. It leaves you vulnerable to really bad trading strategies. It leaves you vulnerable to, you know, buying and holding and praying and hoping for the best and hanging on for dear life because you don't really know what you're doing. And I would say probably 85% of the people that I work with, they fall into this category. They're uneducated. But then there's another variation of this, and it's really unique. A lot of people would never guess this is the reason they're not making money, but here's what it is. Rather than being uneducated, they're actually overeducated. I deal with this a lot. And I would actually say it's probably as much as 80 to 85% of my private coaching clients fall into this category of overeducated. What happens is they're around the world of trading for a while. They keep taking in all these different courses and these different YouTube videos and stuff, and they keep trying to assimilate it, but they can't break it down to the basic building blocks of putting it together into a system that actually works. Like I always say, if you can't execute a simple trading strategy, you'll never execute a complicated one. And that's what happens with overeducated traders. They're trying to put too many things into it, and they wonder why it doesn't work. Because frankly, they're a little too educated. So how can we break it down? Well, I'm going to share with you 3 keys to trading for profit right now. And I promise you, this is the perfect formula. If you'll do this, you will be a profitable trader. So let's break it down. There's 3 very simple keys. Number 1 is your analysis. Analysis is the first most important step. This is where you determine the direction of the trade. Number 2 is your trading strategy. This is how you play the information that you discovered in step number 1, which is the analysis. So you do your analysis, you figure out what's happening with the trade. Number 2, how are you going to play it? What's your strategy for this analysis that you've just achieved here? And then number 3, and maybe the most boring, but the most important, is risk management. And this is how you preserve your capital. Now, I could stop right here, but I really want to give you a little bit more details here. So I'm gonna go into each of these a little bit more detail, and then we'll wrap this up. So let's start with analysis here. Analysis is, again, it's about choosing the direction for the trade. There's only three directions the trade can go. The trade could go up, it could go down, or it could go sideways. So to start this, we're going to identify the trend. We're going to start with the trend, and the tool that I use for that are your moving averages. And then we're going to immediately follow that up with other analysis tools to confirm our trend direction. And the other tools are going to be things like your indicators, your candlestick patterns, your chart patterns, etc. And finally, once you've done your full well-rounded analysis, you're going to finally be able to pick your direction. Is the trade going up? Is the trade going down? Or is the trade going sideways? And if you identify that piece right there, you are already 90% down the road compared to the vast majority of traders. Just identifying the direction of the trade. This is the number one step that people mess up. Now we move to the second step, which is identifying and applying an appropriate strategy. So whenever we think about strategy, strategy is how you play it. It's your playbook. If you're trading stock, it's going to be buying long or selling short. If you're trading crypto, it's going to be the same thing, buying long or selling short. Maybe you're trading options. And when we get into options trading, there's a whole lot of different strategies we could use. And then, that's just for your long options. You start looking at option selling and sideways moves. This can get really complex really quickly here. And obviously, we're not going to go into that right now. But the key is, once you've identified the direction of the trade, are we going up? Are we going down? Are we going sideways? Now it's easy. We just start to apply an appropriate strategy. And then that brings us to step number 3, which is the risk management. Now, when you think about strategy, this is the eye candy that everybody wants in their trade. This is the easiest thing in the world. If you look all over the internet, what are people trying to sell? Buy my 10 favorite trading strategies. You're going to make millions. This is the thing that attracts you. It's like that meme that you've seen going around the internet where the guy's got the perfectly good, attractive girl and he looks back at the other girl. That's what strategies are. It's total distraction. Are they important? Yes, they're important. Are they the most important thing? No, they're not. Analysis is the most important thing. That's the first step. Strategy is how we play it. And then the third step is the risk management. And this is simply how we preserve our money. And there's 2 steps in there. Number 1 is your trading plan, and number 2 is your capital preservation plan. And inside the capital preservation, it's going to look like 3 steps: your risk per trade, your trade allocation, and then last and maybe most important is your scaling for that. Now, if you will do those things, this is how you're going to guarantee that you stay in the game for a long time and you never go broke. And that's why I call this my 3-step blueprint. It's absolutely fail-safe. If you do the right analysis and if you apply an appropriate strategy and you manage your risk, 1, 2, 3, you absolutely will beat the market. You'll destroy the market and you can make as much money as you ever wanted to. So if you want to learn more about this, guess what? I got a free class coming up, a free training. It's called Stop Guessing and Start Trading, the 3-step trading blueprint for profits. And in that course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go deeper into this 3-step blueprint that I just started to share with you here. It's about an hour training, and I'm going to go into each of those and share exactly what we do in each of those so that you can beat the market, destroy the market, reap your profits, and be a profitable trader and stop losing money. So if that sounds like something you'd like to do, then, well, let's be honest. If you even have a smidgen of interest in making money trading stocks, cryptocurrency, stock options, futures, foreign currency, or anything else, you need to take this free training because it's free. I mean, it literally costs you nothing. There's a link somewhere here above the video or below the video, and all you need to do is click that. It will take you over to this free training, and then you can watch it, and then you can decide, do I really want to make money trading? Do I really want to follow something as simple as a 3-step blueprint? You know what a blueprint is? It means that you can run it over and over, and it works. And this is a blueprint. It works. How do I know it works? Because I've done it. I've taught it to others. I've taught them to do it, and I'm ready to teach you to do it. All you need to do is go to the free training, sign up, and I'll see you on the other side. So thanks for watching. Until next time, happy trading. We'll talk to you soon.